What's up, everyone? Welcome to another parallel lending video. For anyone that, if this is your first time, parallel lending, we are a private lending company in the real estate field, and we've just been putting out videos and that, we get a lot of questions, and so we want to make these topics about the questions that we get. So I'm your host, Stephen Hammond. I'm one of the original investors in Parallel, and I contribute to the relational side of things with investors. We have Eric Beauchart, who is a co-founder and pretty much does the day-to-day stuff with Parallel, the underwriting, just the whole process in general. And today we have a pretty cool topic that I'm excited to talk about, because it's one that we could talk about for a whole hour, but we're probably going to dive it to or cut it down to like 6-7 minutes. But it's one that we get from investors that invest, within the company, and then one that we get from just borrowers and just flippers and people that are trying to, get rentals in general. Are all good deals gone, right? Especially in these hot markets, like we're in Texas, I'm in Austin, Eric is in DFW, hot markets, hard to find good deals, admittedly, yes, but not impossible by any means. You just have to know where to look. So Eric's going to touch on that and kind of hit on, are all good deals gone? The answer is no, but he's going to kind of explain why and how to go about that process. So Eric, I'll let you take it away from here.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to do my best to keep this short, because it's a question we get all the time. I love answering this question. You hit the nail on the head just to get to the short of it. The answer is absolutely not. It might be getting harder, but I wouldn't believe the headlines and that the fact that private equity firms and big Wall Street companies are coming in and buying all the available flips and rentals and scaling this business, and they have the cheapest contractors, and they're able to pay everything cash and close in 48 hours. So a lot of small time investors, or mom and pop investors, who maybe just do a couple flips a year, they feel like when they read those headlines that they're being squeezed out. But it's absolutely not true. This market has not matured or saturated enough to squeeze out all the profits for people like us. You're doing flips right now. I'm doing flips right now. And so that the answer is no. I think the thing to kind of focus on if you're a mom and pop investor is, and whether you're doing rentals, whether you're doing commercial, whether you're doing single family, I would say the one thing that you can focus on better than anybody else is knowing your market and understanding on a street by street basis, what properties are going for, what type of finish outs do those areas command, what rental rates are in that area, and what type of tenant is going in there, what type of demographic is there. And that's driving around the neighborhood. And that is something that someone from Wall Street just cannot do. And so you see these kind of large public companies, and you can go through their earnings report. It's all public information. And these companies are not making money, especially in this high interest rate environment. You're looking at Opendoor, you're looking at Zillow shutting down their home buying program. You're looking at companies like OfferPad. These are companies that thought that they could scale this business in a very real way, and ended up not being able to, because they didn't have the type of market expertise that a mom and pop investor would have. They also didn't have the relationships that you might have as a mom and pop investor. And you can go to lunch with these people. You can meet them at mixers. You can meet them, in your church, or, in any other place that you frequent. We have borrowers that, have met their contractor at church, and this contractor, we're using him now on 3 of our flips. He's A+. And Wall Street does not know who this guy is. And the big players don't know who this guy is. So I think building your team, building your contractors, building your real estate agents, building your wholesalers, building your financiers, local financiers like us, these are really, really important kind of relationships that you can develop that are more, I guess, more holistic than what a big player would do. And so, big players are trying to squeeze their margin. They're looking for volume, and it hasn't worked. There's a point in where that doesn't work. And so you can always be diligent in looking for deals. I would say I've never done this before, but the last thing I'll say about this is you can bird dog, which is driving around neighborhoods and looking at properties with high grass, or with ramps, there might be a home owned by someone who's older and looking to downsize, or has a lot of equity in the property, so could be really attracted by a cash offer. So those opportunities still exist. If you have a lot of time and you don't have a lot of money to get started, you can start bird dogging and you can start getting your deals direct. Otherwise, there are wholesalers and properties on the market that can find you still really good deals. I know I said that was the last thing I would say, but this actual last thing I'm going to say is, now in this market, I know people always try to time the market. I'm not a big fan of timing the market, but if you were a person who wants to time the market, now is an awesome time because of this high interest rate environment. I know people are saying inventory is short, but nowadays sellers are willing to negotiate. And so you see a price on Zillow, you don't have to offer that price, or you can offer full price and get a bunch of concessions on the back end when you look at inspections, or if you want specific amenities, or if you want specific things change about the property, you can ask for those things. So there are still so many good deals out there. We're finding them every day. We're lending against them every day. It's just about building your team and knowing your market.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, Eric. Like whenever when we got involved in real estate investing 6-7 years ago, this same concept, all the good deals are gone, was even around back then, and we've been able to be okay. You just have to be kind of patient and maybe be creative in ways. But we found good deals on the normal MLS. We found good deals with wholesalers. We found good deals by someone saying, "Hey, I've got a property that someone maybe wanted to sell." So it's just like, once you get in and get out, deals tend to happen. And I think with just to mention, with the big firms buying up, a lot of volume in houses, of course, if you're buying a bunch of volume, you're going to have good deals in there, right? But then you also, there's a lot of deals that aren't so great, and you alluded to that. I think the biggest takeaway, at least for me, and listening, is like, we know how hard it is to manage a flip, to manage a real estate investment whenever you're there every day. Like, it's tough work, right? And so it's 10 times harder whenever you're doing it from a different state. And it's 10 times harder than that when you're doing it from a different state and you have like 100 going on and you just don't speak that lingo, essentially. So I think it's just another good example that there's a lot of good deals out there still. It's just being patient and knowing kind of when to attack. But really good topic, something we could talk about forever, and something that if you go to a real estate meetup, will be something that's definitely discussed. But Eric, I think a cool topic that we'll talk about next time, that just hit me, so I want to say it before we forget, is I want to go over advice or stuff to know about for new real estate investors, whether it's people investing in the private lending space or just trying to get their hands dirty and start doing some flips. So we'll hit on that next time. But if that's all we have, Eric, do you have anything else you want to touch on? Or are you good to get out of here?
No, let's do it. That's that sounds like a great topic next time, and that's something we could probably break up in a couple different videos as well.
Yep. That's what we'll plan to do. So, everyone, thanks for watching. Again, if you like this type of content, please consider subscribing and liking. If you've got any questions or any comments, please let us know below, and we'll do our best to answer, or find someone who's smarter than us that can answer. But until then, we will see y'all next time. Peace.